everybody, welcome to another YouTube video with exercisesforinjuries.com. My name is Kaya, yoga instructor here. Today we're going to be talking about yoga poses that you can do for low back or SI joint pain. So we're going to go through 5 different poses. I'll give you some modifications for each one, and hopefully it will help you guys out with any low back pain that you're having. The first thing we're going to do is a cat-cow. So this can absolutely be done from a seat, just by sitting up tall, hands on the thighs or knees. I'm going to do it from all 4s though today. So stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, starting with a neutral spine. On a deep breath in, dropping your belly down towards the floor, lift your tailbone, chest comes forward, gaze comes forward, and then exhale, press away from the floor, round your spine. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Good. Inhale. Exhale. So our pelvis is rotating here as we come forward and then as we press away. And doing about 10 of these if you can. So 10 rounds, an inhale and an exhale on each one. And then returning to a neutral spine. Good, so we're going to do a child's pose now. So to get into a child's pose, our toes are going to come together, and then knees can be together or apart. So the further apart the knees are, the more we're going to work into the hips. So if you have really tight hips and you find that that's kind of taking away from the restorative aspect that we're looking for this, bring your knees in closer together. So coming forward, walking my hands forward, I'm going to release my forehead towards the mat. If it doesn't reach the mat, just put something under your forehead so that you can relax it, and then you can release through the back of the neck and shoulders. So nothing has to work too hard to keep the forehead on the ground. And then from there, we're taking deep breaths into the low belly, even thinking about expanding your breath down into the low back. And then exhale, release down into the floor, let everything sink in. Inhale and exhale. Good, so again, working for 10 breaths in this posture. Each time you exhale, just becoming even more relaxed, letting go even more. Good. And then for those of you that maybe can't come down into this sort of hip or knee flexion, then we're going to come into a modified version, or you can even add this onto this little series. We're going to come onto a back and do the knee to chest. So this is just allowing you to do this from bed, right? You do your child's pose in bed too, of course. And it's just way less pressure on the hips and knees here. So pulling the knees in, either wrapping your forearms around them, maybe you can grab elbows, or just palms on the knees, and then you can choose. Maybe they're in towards the chest or further out. And deep breaths here. So we're still working into the hips, helping to release tension around the back. Plus the spine doesn't have to do any work here, it just gets to relax down into the floor. You can even add a little rock in if you want, which can feel really nice on the low back, a bit of a low back massage, maybe drawing circles in the hips. Good, so again, if you're doing that, about 10 breaths or 30 to 60 seconds. So holding these a little longer than you might normally hold a stretch. Good. So we're going to come into a figure 4 next. So this one you can also do from sitting, just by crossing an ankle over somewhere along the leg. Maybe it doesn't make it up all the way onto the knee, the shin, or the ankle is totally fine. I'm going to bring my ankle over just above my knee here, not on the knee. Flexing those toes back, that helps to protect the knee joint. I can stay here if you feel a stretch, if not, starting to press that leg away. If you still need a deeper stretch, pull the thigh in And I'm using my elbow to press my other leg away while I pull this leg in towards me. And that's just helping to deepen the stretch even more and even out the hips. So right now I'm feeling this in my left hip. And then deep breaths into your low belly again. Any knee pain means you need to release off that knee joint a little bit. Might be a little bit too much of a torque on the knee joint. Deep breaths. Again, about 10 deep breaths. Then we'd switch sides. Same thing. Pressing away with the elbow, pulling in with my hands. And this knee that I'm pulling in, that leg doesn't have to do any work here. Good. So by relaxing the hips, we're helping release around the low back, right? So everything's connected. So when we help release the hips, that's taking tension off the low back and that SI joint as well. All right, so supported bridge. So this is a great way to just completely release the low back. I'm gonna take this blanket that I've folded up, but you can take a pillow or a yoga block or whatever you have underneath that flat part, the sacrum of the lower back. And just seeing if that's an okay size for you. You know, you might need something bigger, you might need something smaller. We just want to feel a release and a bit of a stretch in the low back. So from here, option to just stay where you are. I find to relax even more, I like to take the heels out and let the knees fall in, so I don't have to do any work. It's called constructive rest. I don't have to do any work to keep the knees up, but if that hurts the knees, then definitely bring them back. One way to also kind of deepen this stretch or release into the low back is to lengthen the legs out, but only if that feels okay in the low back. We don't want too much compression or pinching or anything like that. No pain when we do this. And so wherever you are, just deep breaths into the low belly. And exhale, release. Good, so another 10 deep breaths in this posture. Then we'll gently take out whatever we had under the low back. And the last thing we're gonna do is a spinal twist. So options here as well. One option is to lengthen out one leg and bring that other knee over. This is probably the most kind of intense twist that you can come in. Gaze can even come back behind you to complete the twist. You can always support underneath the knee and behind the back here to help ground yourself. This knee does not need to come down to the ground. And deep breaths here again, each exhale just completely surrendering into the twist, letting go. But if this is too much, you can keep both knees bent. Sometimes that's a gentler way to stretch to the side. You can choose how high the knees come up. And you can even have the feet further apart from each other. So just however you twist, just bringing some movement and flexibility into the spine and also letting the low back totally release here. You can let the eyes close if that feels okay. Good, and then 10 breaths on that side, and then you switch. Maybe that gaze comes out to the opposite side of the legs, and the eyes can close. Trying to just release into the ground as much as you can. Good. And then once you're finished, 10 breaths or 30 to 60 seconds on that side, you can slowly come back up through center, taking your time. And then coming back up So those were your 5 or kind of a bonus 6th yoga posture that you can do to help with low back pain or SI joint pain. I hope that was helpful for you. My name's Kaya. If this was helpful and you enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and check out exercisesforinjuries.com. There's a search bar there. You can type in anything injury related or strength related, diet related, and there's bound to be something on the site there that addresses whatever your question is. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.